Hey there, thinkers. Welcome back to another episode of Critical Hit. My name is S.
And I'm Finn. And today we're going to be going over, on Monday, of course, the box office results for last weekend. That's the third weekend of July in 2023. And we're going to go over domestic and a little bit of international, even though all the international numbers aren't quite compiled yet.
Not quite.
All right, so we've already done reviews for most of these movies. We're going to stay away from how we think about them for the most part. We might do a little political tirade at the end. I do have a little tidbit of information that I'd like to go over. Maybe I'll timestamp that if anyone wants to just skip to that, or if you want to stick around for it. All right, with that out of the way, let's get started. So what do we got first?
Well, first we have Barbie.
All right, Barbie, crushing it at the box office. Holy smokes, 162 million. And that's just domestic.
Shockingly.
Yeah, cleared at 354 million worldwide. 145 million, I think the production budget was at this point, even if they had a $100 million marketing campaign, and they had a fantastic, phenomenal marketing campaign.
Ploy.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to try to stick away from how we really thought. Maybe at the end we'll talk about this, but just killing it. I don't think it's quite broken even yet, but even with like a 70% drop next week, it's still going to break even at this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, so next up, what do we got?
We have Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer doing 82 million domestically, very, very well. That's Christopher Nolan's latest. I know I said we've done reviews on both these. I always said I wouldn't talk about how I felt about the movies. We have reviews, absolutely. Excellent movie. I think it's a step up from Tenet. I do want to say I think it left me a little disappointed, and that's just not because it's a bad movie. Absolutely excellent movie. I hate to use the term, but I wish they kind of Hollywooded it up a little bit, made it a little more exciting. Now, it's very amazing for how historically accurate it is.
Made it a little more thrilling.
Yeah, I just wanted a little bit more of an excitement or climax in there. And I just kind of expected that going in, I think. And if I didn't expect that, I think I would have been much happier leaving. Even though I still think it's fantastic. I think it's definitely worth a watch. But like I said, go watch our review if you'd like to see what we really had to think. All right, what do we got next?
And then third, we have Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, and Sound of Freedom, obviously we talked about it before a couple times now. We had a review out. Please check it out. Interesting here is that it's gaining theaters at the moment.
People want to see it.
Yeah, it would be great if it got an international release, but made 19.8 million. And going strong still on week 3 is Sound of Freedom. Only domestic release right now.
That's great. And in fourth, we have Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, 19.3 million. That's just domestic. So yes, Sound of Freedom did beat it in the domestic market, but it always does really well, the Mission Impossible franchise.
Great movie. Faithful.
In international markets. Did lose 6 theaters. That beat Oppenheimer with those IMAX. But, we enjoyed Mission Impossible, but 19.3 million. Probably, at the moment, doesn't look like it's going to come out strong, but you never know. That can change. Might be like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, it was a great movie. And in fifth, we have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Doom.
Yeah. Again, we have a review. Check it out if you want to hear what we thought. 6.6 million.
Not shocking.
Yeah, not doing so well. I don't think it's got much legs left in it, and it's going to lose a lot of money. We've already done an update on that.
In sixth, we have Insidious.
Insidious horror movie. It's
standard.
Yeah, it's really cheap to produce, doing very well.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Seventh, we have Elemental.
Interesting. Disney Pixar film. We thought it was going to flop really bad, and it will, but not as bad as we thought.
It's not going to feel as bad.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know how I feel about it.
I gave it a D.
Yeah. It is what it is with this film. It's got longer legs. I'm almost at the fence where I want to say I hope Disney properties fail so they change course, but it's always also hard to wish people lose their jobs. So
yeah, exactly. On the other hand, though, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was a great movie, and that's an 8.
Yeah, and that's an 8th week coming in 8th, doing really good. Probably going to be out of theaters soon, coming at 2.8 million, but had a really strong run.
Yeah, I've watched it tons. Ninth, there's another Transformers movie's out.
Yeah, 1.1 million, 7th week now, and probably going to be out of theaters pretty soon. It had an okay run, not the best, but an okay run in theaters.
In 10th, we have Jennifer Lawrence's No Hard Feelings.
Yeah, cheap rom-com to produce. They might keep it in theaters a little bit longer, but 1 million. And that's our top 10. You got Little Mermaid now falling out of it, and I don't think they'll stay in theaters much longer. From our calculations, Little Mermaid has lost money. I don't think it's going to make money at this point. And then you got the handful of other ones. Flash still on there, hanging in for the last semblance of movie theaters it can get. But that's it for our box office debut, or box office results for the third week of July 2023. Yeah. Barbie, Oppenheimer absolutely killed it.
Blows it out of the park.
No matter how you feel about these, it's just we have to be realistic about what numbers are. And Barbie destroyed it. Oppenheimer destroyed it. All right, so on to our next article here. from Deadline, as you can see, Barbie, an even bigger knockout with 356 million.
356 million globally? Are you kidding me?
And Oppenheimer
They're definitely making a second one.
And Oppenheimer increases Genius to 180 million worldwide. That's both their launch. Fantastic box office for these two. And yeah, they may make a second Barbie. I don't think it's quite made a profit yet, but I mean, it's going to. Unless word of mouth makes it drop 99% next weekend, it's definitely going to make money. And I don't think the real telling factor will be with how much money it makes. I think it had really good marketing, but I think it will be with the toy sales for Mattel afterwards.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
But anyways, this is really interesting. I found this from the New York Times, and this is that they were saying the movie theater was dead, and obviously not the case. This is the fourth biggest domestic opening. Now they kind of cheated. They put Barbie and Oppenheimer together, but we were seeing the Barbieheimer come out in all the mass media. And them together made up the second biggest and strongest box office debut in history. Now, is box office dead with that kind of results? No. Obviously, people were just waiting for the right movies. Is Barbie the right movie?
I don't think so.
Well, not for me, but time will tell.
Voice.
Time will tell how people feel about it. All right, that's it for what we wanted to talk about with box office results. Now, at this point, I'm going to get a little bit political. So if you don't like that stuff, turn away now. Or if you came in for that stuff, timestamp me here. This is where we started. All right, so I'm going to go over to IMDb, talk about some ratings for the Barbie movie. Do I think there's review bombing going on the negative side? Yeah, I mean, 1 stars, 12.3%. Would I rate it 1 star? Yeah, between 1 and 2.
I probably would rate 1 as well.
It's probably in my bottom 3 movies of all time. I don't want to... It might be my bottom 1. The only reason I'm saying bottom 3 is because off the top of my head, I can't think of any ones that are quite as bad, but I also don't want to put it down there just out of instinct. So, here's the interesting thing. 21% of the votes think it's a perfect movie. Absolutely perfect. Now, these other 21% think it's an 8. Do I think those are realistic? Yeah, maybe they are. Absolutely. But do I think 21% thought it was an absolutely perfect movie? Ooh, maybe.
I hope not.
It makes me lose faith in humanity a little bit if they think that's the perfect movie. And now maybe people just took this as satirical. And it's got no relevance whatsoever to the real world. Maybe that's the case. But with that Stanley Kubrick introduction and A Space Odyssey kind of 2001 at the start, and his... what Stanley Kubrick wanted to do in his movies was to lay that, layer in the subcontext. And if you understood the subcontext, you would understand a scene in a different way. Maybe Barbie has some kind of crazy subcontext, but I just think that Greta Gerwig is not that kind of intelligent, and I just think that she hit you in the face with, a baseball bat with what she was saying, and she just passed it off as satirical, and that was the subcontext.
Yep, that was.
I could be wrong. Oh boy, I guess I hope I'm wrong. But at the moment, I sure don't feel that way. You know what? I'm not even going to take credit for the stuff about Stanley Kubrick. I watched a channel called Midnight's Edge where he breaks that down fantastically. And if you haven't seen it, I can leave a link down below for Midnight's Edge. But he really researches films fantastically, and I highly recommend you give him a watch because he breaks down that better than I can. All right, moving on. Last point. So I found this kind of funny, and kind of a funny story to end us off on here. Funny/political, I guess. But anyways, feminist academic. Yeah, in quotations. Slams Oppenheimer because no women speak for the first 20 minutes of the movie. Dr. Tanya Roth has slammed the recently released Oppenheimer film due to one of the first scenes of the movie involving women being in a sex scene. So it's not the first scene, it's the second scene. And it's actually plays pretty well into the end of the movie because it kind of goes back to how his wife had to see it during the hearing, or at least she has to imagine it because they really talk about it and he was a womanizer. And it plays into Oppenheimer as a person, and the whole movie's about Oppenheimer. But anyways.
Yeah, women don't have to be in everything.
Well, this is what gets me. So this is the doctor, Dr. Tanya Roth. Doctor, quotations. So why is this funny, or why did I find this so funny? So number one, this came out on the same weekend as Barbie. Barbie was, oh my goodness, so feminist. But not even good feminist, toxic femininity. Subjugating men, not even getting them a modicum of respect.
Men were cooked.
Oh my goodness, just treating them terrible throughout the whole thing. And really, it leaves you with the impression that men are just so awful and terrible beings. As we said before, kind of could have been satirical, but anyways, that's the first point. as that came out. She had nothing to say about that. I'm guessing she loved it.
Of course she loved it. She thought it was great.
Well, I'm assuming she did. She had nothing to say.
Breakthrough.
On the other hand, this woman who's a doctor, her PhD is in women's history. Women's history.
Oh, so she's a historian.
Has a problem. Whoa. Let's not go crazy. She has a PhD. I don't know from what school. I would get a refund if I was a school. Yeah. But she wants to get women inserted into a film when the whole first hour really depicts, maybe a little less, depicts Oppenheimer at school. And in the 1920s and 1930s, Oppenheimer studied two things, chemistry and physics. And I'm sorry, in the 1920s and 1930s, and I shouldn't have to say sorry to a woman who understands history, especially women's history, the fields of chemistry and physics were not heavily, let's say, influenced by women back then. And so I get what you're saying. You want more women in there. But at the same point...
That's so disingenuous. You can't just add them in there.
Why would someone that knows history want to put women into a place that makes no sense in a historically accurate film? You know, I people are going to complain about everything. Of course, I just find it very funny.
Kitty babies?
I just find it very funny that she had to complain about that, but obviously not the Barbie movie in the same context.
Oh no, not the Barbie movie. She's such a hypocritical doctor.
Anyways,
oh my goodness.
If you're the school that gave her degree, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't use it anymore, but maybe be looking to see if it still applies to what you taught. I don't know.
People should get like these exams every like 6 years or something.
Well, I honestly, with the way academia is going, I don't think that bringing people back in is necessarily the right way to go. But anyways, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, I have nothing else to say. That's all I have. If you guys think the same way or if you guys think differently, please let us know down in the comments.
Yeah, you know what? I think debate's very helpful for a civil society, and I'm always happy. If someone disagrees with me, let me know. I'm happy to defend my points and why I think this way. As long as someone understands that they have to defend their points as well. If you want to talk about something, let's do it. Let's talk. Let's challenge me, change my mind. But that's all I got, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.
See you guys in the next video. Doodle.
Bye, guys.